Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. For better listening, for better thinking, and better speaking, we learn by doing. Thank you. Since we are in an online meeting, members other than the role players, meeting leaders, and speakers are advised to mute their microphones during the meeting. However, I request you all to keep your videos on during the course of the meeting. You are urged to applaud using the emojis and through your video. As a general rule, Toastmasters encourages all speakers and role players to speak on any topic except politics, religion, and sex. I hope you will enjoy today's meeting. Let me now hand over the control of the meeting to the presiding officer, a great Toastmaster, confident speaker, and exemplary leader, our president of Toastmaster, Dr. Mahesh Pillai. Stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Sir, the Trans Toastmaster Mohammad Mateen. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. I welcome you all to the 56th and the last meeting of this program year 2020-2021. I still remember the first meeting, July 2020. I was very positive that we are going to be successful. And more than that, I was COVID positive during the first meeting. I'm a person who feels that something goes wrong in the first one, we are going to be successful, because that gives me more energy, more motivation to take care and to be successful. And as we said before, with such a great support from the ExCom members and contributions from ExCom, we are still #1 in the district in terms of education awards. And that was one of the things we discussed and we planned well before we started this program here. It's because, and also we ranked #3 in the world. All this because of our proper planning, contributions from all the ExCom members and all our members. We also achieved medley awards and all this we have discussed during the annual day. On this occasion, I'd like to thank all our members, especially the ExCom members first, for their support and coordination. I won't say I have done anything, but we've done it as a team. That it was a great teamwork, and I was able to be there as a team member with the great support from the other members of TAJ. And because of that, we are the TAJ in District 79. So as the last meeting, I'd like to thank all of you for their support, for your support. And I request you to continue your support to the next ExCom so that TAJ will continue its journey. And I'm sure because TAJ is in safe hands, we have a professional team of ExCom members who's ready to take over, who already started their work for the next program year. And I'm sure under the leadership of Dr. Sundar, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar, and other members, TAJ will remain, or as a TAJ in District 79, or TAJ will reach, or TAJ will become the TAJ of entire Toastmasters International. Without much delay, we'll continue with the program for today. With that, I'd like to appreciate the last meeting winners. The best speaker, Toastmaster Roy Jose. Best evaluator, Toastmaster Manazil Bukhari. Best meeting leader, Toastmaster Mohammad Shakir. And best of big three, Toastmaster Manazil Bukhari. Dear Toastmasters and guests, give them a big round of applause. And let's learn a new word today. To learn a new word, you have a new Toastmaster. Let me welcome Toastmaster Suryakant to introduce the word of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh. If I can get the access to share my screen for a minute.
Screen share has been enabled.
Yes, please.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Are you? I hope everybody is able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Toastmasters, and a warm welcome to all the distinguished guests. Let me start today with a marvelous quote by George Washington. Truth will continue to prevail where there is pains taken to bring it to light. Wow, what a stupendous quote. It is valid even today. We can use the word prevail in different contexts. It means to gain ascendancy through strength, to become more effective, or to be frequent, or to be continue in use in fashion. I see prevail word as more, it has more of positiveness in it, and it can be summarized in different contexts. To defeat an opponent, like truth will prevail, which means truth will win and false will be defeated. To be usual, common, or popular. Let's say the prevailing market rates in Dubai are these are prevailing, or it could be used or in continue or to be in use. Indian culture is very diverse, which will continue to prevail. So it's a very unique word with a lot of positiveness in it, and we can use this in different contexts. Some of the synonyms are conquer, triumph, win, survive, persist, and antonyms are lose, be defeated, come short, fail, and miss. So fellow Toastmasters, I would urge all of you to use this word as much as possible in today's speeches so that the enthusiasm in the TAJ Club continues to prevail. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suryakant, for giving that clear information about the word of the day. Thank you so much. And I also like to thank all the Toastmasters present here. We, once again, sorry, this team is closed. Even in the last meeting, we continued our commitment in starting the meetings on time. And I'll say out of 56 meetings, more than 95% of the meetings we started and finished on time. So I thank you, all the members and all those who are present here. And also special thanks to Dr. Sundar for organizing such meetings. And all the biggest or the toughest role in a club meeting is the Vice President Education role. And I will say thank you so much for Dr. Sundar for managing all the meetings perfectly. There was no confusion in the agendas. Also thank all other members who participated and present on time. And without much delay, I'd like to hand over the lectern to our Toastmaster of the evening. And this is the beauty of TAJ, where new members are given organization skills, new members are given opportunities to take up the leadership roles and bring them forward. This is the beauty of TAJ. And here also we have a new Toastmaster who is a hotel management graduate with 12 years of experience in abroad, currently working in Dunkin' Donuts KSA as an operation training lead, active member of Falcon Toastmasters, TAJ Toastmasters, and also he is the Vice President Education of Diplomatic Toastmasters Club. I'll say he is a great leader who showed his leadership abilities in a short period of time. Let me welcome a new Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir as the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Shakir, the virtual stage is here.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, Dr. Mahesh, for that elevating introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, the theme of the meeting, comfort zone. During this pandemic, the life teaches a lot of lessons, and I am sure most of you came out of your comfort zone during this pandemic. Exactly what is comfort zone? It's a psychological state in which one feels familiar, safe, at ease, and secure. You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. We are so accustomed to the comfort of I cannot, I do not want to, and it is too difficult that we forget to realize when we stop doing things for ourselves and expect others to dance around us, we are not achieving greatness, but we have made ourselves weak. Sometimes it is good to be in uncomfortable situation because it is finding our way of such difficulties that we learn valuable lessons. Further, we get away from ourselves. The most challenging it is not to be in your comfort zone. It's out of your comfort zone. It's great fun. Try it. Even the smallest changes in our daily routine can create incredible ripples effect that expand our vision of what is possible. Before I can become an expert on anything, I must first become an expert on me. We have to be honest about what we want to take risk rather than lie to ourselves and make excuse to stay in our comfort zone. So by this, let me start our meeting today. Before I start the educational session, can I ask the VP of Education if there is any changes in the agenda?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. There is just one change in the agenda, which is speaker number 2, DTM Sridhar. He will be presenting his speech as speaker number 4. The evaluators shall remain same. So the new speaking order will be Toastmaster Arunachalam, evaluated by Toastmaster Matin. Second speaker, Toastmaster Sundar, evaluated by Toastmaster Nandu. Third speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh, evaluated by Toastmaster Roy. Last speaker, DTM Sridhar, evaluated by DTM Gurrajan. Thank you.
Thank you, VP of Education, Dr. Sundar. Now, for the benefit of the guest, let me explain the basic structure of a Toastmasters meeting. We divided the meeting into three sections. The first section is prepared speech section. Second one is the table topic section, and the final evaluation section. So before I will go to the educational session, let me introduce our meeting leaders. They are the pillars of the meeting. They will help us throughout the meeting. For that, let me call upon our founder, an eminent Toastmaster, Toastmaster Mansoor Ali. Toastmaster Mansoor Ali, could you please explain your role as a founder?
Thank you, Toastmaster Muhammad Shakir, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as fresh or pause fillers by the speakers. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, so, you know. I will also listen to filler sounds such as er. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I mean, or that means. At the end of the meeting, I will report number of times each speaker has used such phrases or sounds, or they have expressed. Thank you, Mohammed Shafi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansoor Ali, for explaining your role in detail as an accountant. Now move on to our second meeting leader, our grammarian. Our grammarian today, Toastmaster PK Philip. Toastmaster PK Philip, could you please explain your role as a grammarian?
Sure, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakib. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty, and I'll be reporting this at the end of the session. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster PK Philip, for explaining your role in detail as a grammarian.
Toastmaster Anthony, you are unmuted. Please unmute your mic.
Thank you, Toastmaster PK Philip, for explaining your role as a grammarian. Now move on to our next meeting leader, word master. It's already introduced by our presiding officer. So I will move on to the next meeting leader. Timing, it's very important, especially in our Toastmasters meeting. So we have a vibrant leader today as a timer. Let me welcome Toastmaster Sunil Idikula. Toastmaster Sunil Idikula, could you please explain your role as a timer?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you for Toastmaster of the evening. As a timer, I will time the prepared speeches, table topics, and the evaluation speeches. I will also alert each speaker to the time they have left using the green and yellow and red backgrounds. And also, after the red signal, the speaker have 30 seconds to wrap up their presentation. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil Idikula. Now move on to our last meeting leader, a multi-talented leader, our word counter. Let me call Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. Toastmaster Dr. Sundar, could you please explain your role as a word counter?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Hello, Toastmasters and my dear friends, good evening. As your vote counter, I shall be helping you select the best speaker, best evaluator, best table topic speaker, best meeting leader, and the best of big three. We shall be doing the voting using Google Forms links. And after every session, when the voting is called for, I'll be sharing a Google Form link on your Zoom chat. Kindly vote for the Toastmaster whom you feel performed their particular role to the best of their abilities. As the vote counter, I shall not be voting except when there is the need for breaking a tie. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, for explaining your role. Now we have 4 prepared speakers, talented, experienced professional speakers lined up for today's meeting. So before I call upon our first speaker, let us hear about his evaluator, Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen. Could you explain the speech objectives of the project?
Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters. The purpose of the speech title is Be Healthy. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce or review the basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support and enhance a speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate his or her understanding of how to use the presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen. Now, our first speaker, a champion speaker, dynamic leader, dedicated and hardworking professional. He is from Pudukkottai, Tamil Nadu. By profession, he is an associate professor in medical bacteriology at King Saud University in research field of multidisciplinary science. He have published more than 175 scientific articles from his research area. For the last 10 years, he is living in Riyadh. Let me call our first speaker, Toastmaster Arunachalam. Toastmaster Arunachalam, the virtual stage is yours.
Am I audible?
Loud and clear.
Zoom master, please pin the timer.
Dr. Arunachalam, so you're already spotlighted, the timer and your video is spotlighted.
Yeah. Okay.
You're using a mobile?
Dr. Anasham, please select speaker view. So you will see both your view and the timer.
Yeah. Okay. It is the guilt that is the real wealth. It's not a piece of gold and silver. Hello, those masters and wonderful guests. Good evening to all. Health is the biggest wealth of human being is his or her entire lifetime. One can survey without excess money, but we can't survey without good health. Good health is one of the main elements of the happiness. Most important tips for the health body is to have healthy food and eat at a proper times. From this, I present simple way for the healthy lifestyle which I am now pursuing. The first, start your day with an herbal tea. It has strong antioxidant effect and leading to various you should try to include the herbs in your diet. It may helpful to reduce blood cholesterol and provide the anti-inflammatory and anti-tumor properties. In the mornings, I always drink herbal tea. Then next, take morning sunlight. Sunlight is a great source of vitamin D. Yet, most don't get enough sun exposures. In fact, here, 40% of the populations is deficient in the critical vitamin. Their benefits include improve the bone health and increase the strength and reduce the symptom of depressions. The vitamin D may also help you live longer. Every day, I spend 30 minutes in the sun to maintain my health. To exercise in the morning because it is a very effective is reducing weight loss. If you are prevailing to start fitness routine, consider morning exercise. After in morning prevail workout, you are more likely to healthy and stay active thoroughly the day. In the early morning, I regularly work out for about an hour on the ground. The next, practice yoga. It is improve overall function of our body. Yoga is a more powerful way to relax. Several studies have shown that yoga can help with the hypertension and diabetics. Currently, the majority of the scientists are focusing their effort on cancer prevention through yoga practice. I am going to telling you about my fascinating yoga practice with you. I used to do a lot of regular workout. However, owing of Corona, I was unable to practice my exercise outside. During this time, I began practicing yoga at home. And also I studied the yoga with a trained master at our Indian embassy. Due to my research job, I am more stressed at work, but my yoga practice is assisting me relaxing and controlling and prevail my breathings. I truly believe the yoga is a beneficial to our health. The consuming fruits and vegetables. Vegetables and fruits are loaded with fibers and vitamins and minerals and many accidents. For this reason, the scientist Benjamin Franklin said, an apple a day keeps doctor away. Do you know? From 1993, I have been eating apples. The next, eat rich proteins. Eating enough protein is vital of optimal growth. It is particularly important for muscle development. Yes, the seeds, germinated seeds, have highly potential protein and low calories. If you are included in your diet, you may have a provide as well the heart. My wife always provided me with the germinated seeds as a source of proteins. Get enough sleep. You can sleep and you cannot sleep and you can't be well. Maximum you can use 8 hours sleeps, but better take rest. I normally get approximately 8 hours to sleep. For my conclusions, enjoy everything what you have, what is around you, live as you like. Change in your life, introduce step by steps. Sudden change can induce opposite effect. So start prevail now and keep change gradually. Now I am very comfortable zone. My dear friends, simple health tips in life can create the big difference. So if you want to be healthy and create a comfortable zone, and do not forget that the best day of start healthy life is today. Back to Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam, for that very useful speech. Yes, the greatest wealth is health. Just give him a big round of applause. Let's move on to the second speaker as per the changed agenda. Before I will call the second speaker, let us call his evaluator, Toastmaster Nandu Kottarath. Toastmaster Nandu Kottarath, could you please explain the speech objectives?
Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends. The purpose of this project is for the member to reflect on his or her growth during the completion of an entire path. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her growth during the completion of a path. The speech title is Seeing Through the Glass Ceiling. The time is 10 to 12 minutes. Timer, please note, the time is 10 to 12 minutes. All the very best, my speaker, Toastmaster Sundar Ramalingam, and over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandu Kottarath. Now move on to our second speaker. He's a dynamic leader. By profession, he is an associate consultant, oral surgeon at King Saud University, Medical City, Toastmaster since 2017. Currently, VP Education of TAJ Toastmaster Club, Club Coach of PSU Falcon. Let me call Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, the virtual stage is yours.
How many of you have experienced a glass ceiling? Something that covers you on the top, probably even a glass room on the sides, beside you, in front of you, behind you. You can see through, you are afraid to go beyond. Fellow Toastmasters and all my dear friends, glass ceilings, glass walls, and glass enclosures are the invisible barriers that prevent us from moving forward, moving up, spreading our wings apart and succeeding. I thought of this title because I wanted to share some interesting aspects on a path which I thought I have gone through over and over and over again. As you know, this path, as has been mentioned by the evaluator and in the agenda, is about visionary communication. Being a teacher, an academician for almost 15 years now, I have been communicating a lot, be it professional, be it with students. And as a Toastmaster for the last 4 years and having competed in several contests, I have been progressing on my communication skills, is what I was believing. But when I embarked on this path, I came to know that I had been living inside a glass enclosure, and there was a lot more that I had to do to see beyond and see through and over and above the glass ceiling. The invisible enclosure that has been limiting because I thought that I had known everything. Let me give you a gist of what all I went through as I was progressing on this path. Of course, the level 1 and 2 were mastering the fundamentals. This being my second part, I had gone through the beaten track already. It was all about the icebreaker speech and then evaluation and feedback and then researching and presenting. So I had taken up familiar topics. I did not challenge myself much. Similarly, in the level 2, when it was about leadership and communication styles, and also about Toastmasters mentoring, I was again going through the beaten track. At one point in time, I even started realizing, come on, why did I choose this path? I knew very well that my focus as a Toastmaster is more about communication, speaking in public, and a little bit less when it comes to leadership. So I was wondering, why should I take it? Probably I should have gone in for some more better paths that includes or improves my skills such as engaging humor or presentation mastery. Probably I'll add up some skills. What am I going to get with this visionary communication path? And then came the challenges in level 3. Level 4 was even more challenging. And level 5, I felt that I had chosen the right path at the end of the day. So level 3, I had to do a required project, which was about developing a communication plan. So in this path, in this project, what I chose to do was I chose to deliver a speech on how I developed a communication plan as the Vice President Education so that I could communicate freely with all my members. And it was a little bit innovative, I would say, at least from my point of view. And it also enabled me to know their perspective. It was through WhatsApp broadcast. Then I made sure that I had an Excel form wherein members can actually select their speech projects. And there was a lot of communication that I was trying to do over WhatsApp. In fact, you would not believe me if I say that I took 2 separate numbers with a package so that I am able to have free calls, so that I am able to talk to members freely. So that really helped. Probably if you are a VP education, to the VP elect, I might suggest that please take a package that has free minutes so that you are able to talk to all the members so that the communication channel is never broken. So in level 4, the required project that I had to do was to communicate change. And again, I took up a familiar subject. It was a subject that we are all facing since the last year and a half, and even now we are facing it as a challenge. I tried to reiterate the point that we are all meeting online, and over a period of time, we start thinking, we chose Toastmasters to become speakers, public speakers and leaders. What are we doing speaking in front of a camera? So I tried to reiterate through that speech that this is the new normal that we all need to get used to. Probably 6 months down the line, even after the pandemic has been eradicated, corporates might still want to cut costs by saying, why do you want to have physical meetings? Have virtual meetings. Save a lot of money, a lot of traveling time, and a lot of efforts. So you might as well know, so this could actually be the new normal. So we all need to be geared up, and this is an extra skill that we are going to add up to the skill set. So that way, it went on very well and was received in a great way when I delivered it in a different club than ours. And then finally, the level 5 elective was about developing a vision. As I mentioned to you earlier, the point of the whole path lie in this one project. What is the vision that I want to make as a visionary communicator and a leader? I literally had 2 to 3 sleepless nights thinking, what is it that am I going to do with this required project? Do I really have a vision? Do I have something that I have to do to take it forward with a visionary thought process? And then there was a spark. Again, took up to the quotation, which I'm sorry, I'm unable to recollect who delivered it, but it says, yeah, Steve Jobs. If you are doing something passionate, then probably it is the vision that will drive you, and there is no need to be effortful on that one. So I took something that was close to my heart, which has always been a dream. This is to develop a forum, a center for scientific academic learning, wherein I'm able to rejuvenate and kindle the process of research writing and reporting in the young generation of budding doctors, dentists, and physicians back home in India. So this has always been a dream project, very close to my heart. And this project that I did in my level 5 helped me to make those baby steps that I'm going to do in the future. But I wanted to develop this vision. What are the goals that I need to take up? How I need to break those goals into small parts so that I am able to achieve one by one. And probably sometime in the future, I will be announcing it to you all that my vision has taken birth. So this was all about those required projects which molded me for this project and this path and made me satisfied at the end of the day that I have actually chosen a right path and I have learned something out of it. Going over to the electives that I did in my level 3, level 4, and level 5, being the second part, as I had told you earlier, I did not want to go for the same routine stuff. In fact, I stepped into that point of view when I did my active listening project. Later on, I regretted, no, even if I'm going to repeat a similar project, let me do it differently. So for my level 3 elective, the first one was active listening as table topics master and an evaluator. For my second project, I made it a point that it was about inspiring audience by speeches. I made it a point that I have been delivering my speech contest speech, which was actually an inspirational speech and also my humorous speech in several forums as a test speaker and also as a practice speech. So that gave me confidence, and in addition, it also inspired the audience. And in my level 4, I took up an elective, which was a combination of two, which was about managing projects successfully and also managing online meetings. So this was actually another forum which I am attached with, Science India Forum. This is about rejuvenating the scientific temper among students and children. So unfortunately, we had a great supporter who passed away due to the COVID crisis, and we had to conduct a farewell meeting. So when the onus fell upon me, I made sure that the project was carried out without any glitches, and I was the main host and MC conducting the entire event, which spanned up to almost an hour and a half online. And also, it was having people from various fora providing their tributes to this great person who had passed away. And at level 5, again, I just wanted to do the lessons learned as my elective project. But again, I was lucky enough because there was another club that I am associated with where I had to give them a presentation for almost 20 minutes based on what I had learned in the pathways and as the base camp manager as a vice president education of TAJ Toastmasters Club. So in that club, I delivered a 25-minute long speech, giving them all ideas. This is actually a new club with new members who had fairly no idea what pathways is all about, why they have, in fact, they are all senior professionals, but were left in the lurch when it comes to know why they have chosen this pathways learning experience. So it was a great opportunity for me to tell them, teach them, and guide them why pathways is so unique, how they could benefit even in a little way from this pathways learning experience. Also, I had given them a training on how to go about drafting or cruising through the base camp, what we are all doing so fluently as experienced Toastmasters. So this way, as I told you, I started with a question after my level 2, have I chosen the right path? But then slowly over the time, when you connect the dots and you look back, as it is always happening, I found that I had indeed chosen a great path, and it has actually kindled the spirit of communicating with a visionary thought process. Whatever you do, whatever you communicate, whatever you say to a forum or an audience or a group of people, it is not just informing them. It should rather be a reflection of what is in your mind, and it should be carried over to their hearts, is what I always believe. And this path definitely fulfilled that particular motto of mine and made me sure that I am a visionary communicator. After completing this speech, I'm pretty sure that I'll get my certificate as a visionary communication proficient. Well, you might be asking me, especially the new Toastmasters, am I really proficient? Well, I'm definitely not proficient. I'm not the expert, but I can confidently say that I have taken my first step as a beginner in my path towards visionary communication, and I have confidently broken through, and I am now seeing through the glass ceiling that there is no limit beyond that, and I can still keep moving upwards, forwards, and beyond my expectations. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, for that educational speech. It was inspiring. You just literally took us through all the levels of visionary communication path. And congratulations for completing your visionary communication path as well. Give him a big round of applause. Now, it's time to move on to our third speaker. Before I call our third speaker, let us hear from his evaluator about the speech objectives. May I call Toastmaster Roy Jones to explain the speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster today. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today, my speaker is going to present a distinguished Toastmaster second speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate his skills as a leader and a public speaker. The purpose of this second speech is for the member to share some aspects of his experience in completing the project. Time allowed 8 to 10 minutes. Speech title, Change to Survive. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roy Jones. Now, our third speaker is an eminent personality, highly motivated leader, currently working as the head of training and consultancy for SLC company in Riyadh, working in the health and safety industry in the Middle East for the last 20 years. Holds a PhD and 2 master degree, trainer qualification from OSHA Training Institute in Chicago and National Safety Council Chicago. Served as a resource person in various occupational health and safety conferences and seminars. An approved trainer for many internationally accepted safety qualifications. Our Division B Director-elect. Let me call Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai. Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, the virtual stage is yours.
Second. Change to survive. It was not just a project, it was a survival story of us, our company. So how I used Toastmasters skills to survive the COVID-19 pandemic. Toastmaster of the evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very warm good evening. So I discussed in the DTM project, first project, when the world was locked down in March 2020. One of the most affected industry was the training industry. And we were badly affected because many organizations were closed. Our offices were also closed. And many of our contracts, the biggest contract we achieved last year, or all the last 7 years, was cancelled. And we were not knowing this answer, how to pay salaries, the rent, accreditation fees, and other expenses. Then we realized that we have to come out of the comfort zone. We need to manage the change, otherwise we will not survive. So as I discussed in the last project also, we formed a team, giving responsibility of a person who believes that if you put more heads together, we can make better solutions. And so we identify the skills of our team members, and we give responsibility to each and every team members. And we constantly monitor the progress. I always remember this quote from Bill Gates. If I'm down to my last dollar, I'd spend it on public relations. And we were in that situation in March 2020. So we decided to spend more time or more money in marketing. So what we did, our marketing was handled by a company from Australia. It's called Vertex Advertising. Then we found that the pricing, we started to negotiate with them, but they are not ready to negotiate. So we contacted another company from India, NetVenture Solution. And we canceled the contract with Vertex, and we signed the contract with NetVenture in 30% less value. And that was something, a big amount for us. So with marketing, what we did the search engine optimization. We asked for like safety consultants in Riyadh. Your company is number 1. Then Google Ads. If you search for anything, you can see the ads in the top. We were paying for Google Ads, but this Google partners, they provided us Google Ads with cheap prices. We upgraded our website. We included all our services. We made it mobile friendly. Then you can see, like when you search for any safety training consultancy, our company details. If you see on this screen, you can see all this information comes up. We are in the number 1 position because of the actions taken by the NetVenture Solutions from India. So upgrade more websites so that it can be easily loaded even in mobile devices. Nowadays, we all know that we search everything in mobile. And online chats, we enable online chats. We have 24/7 chat service in our website, where this advertising company, the marketing company, they take care of all this activities. And it was a great jump for us. Then the social media. I use my Toastmaster skills to record videos, speeches about safety. And my speech, the first one you can see about a change in one of the qualifications, I put a video in YouTube and it got 18,900 likes and 900 views. And because of that, many people joined for that training. And the Toastmaster gives me tools and tactics to develop the speeches, make it interesting, and make it specific requirement for the learners. Then we are also into LinkedIn, where the professional people are there. We started marketing on target marketing, reaching the safety people especially in Saudi Arabia. And also we have Facebook. We are in Facebook. We have around more than 11,000 followers in Facebook, and we also every week we make sure that we post something in Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. So that helped us, and social media was one of the things which helped us in this. And the technical part, we changed. We purchased Zoom. We started our trainings in Zoom. Microsoft Teams. Some of the companies, they said like they don't like Zoom because of the security issues, but so we purchased Teams. We started training using this, and we purchased Office 365. This is one of the softwares which help you and to develop presentations in a much better way. And this will give you design ideas which you can make your presentations. And OneDrive. So we started saving the files in OneDrive, so we work in different areas. We work on the same file, and this helped us to combine so many people's effort to make the presentations and other things. And this was a great jump for us. Technological changes. We upgraded our facility. We purchased the full HD cameras. We upgraded our computers so that there isn't any delay or no lag or something. And you can see the camera, the lighting setups. We changed to studio lighting, changed our background to black color, and then repainted our walls. You can see the writing tablets. You don't have a whiteboard. It's not good to write on the whiteboard. Sometimes it may not be visible. So this type of writing tablets help us to use as write on the whiteboard. And this was one of another technological advantage made us different from other providers in the industry. In finance part, the most important thing we did is increase the marketing budget. As Bill Gates said, if he's having down the last dollar, he'll spend it in public relations. And it's very important that we increase the marketing budget. We purchase videos. Before we used to show the live demonstration. Now it's not possible in a virtual environment. So we purchase videos. We spend a lot of money on that. And we reduce unwanted expenses. We cut it down. Each and every real, we cut it down. And another thing we did is reduce the prices, because the effort you need to take, you have to travel to another city for the training. We reduced the prices because we were able to manage in these places. And also other thing is we are able to reach people from, for example, a training before in the office in Riyadh, we are able to accommodate people from only Riyadh. Now we accommodated people from different parts of the world in the online environment. And we contacted the accredited organization. We are approved by many organizations, the top organization, Health and Safety from UK and US. We write to them that we need to change to online mode. They said, okay, submit your plan. How are you going to do it? How are you going to do the assessment? How are you going to do the training? Then we write a detailed plan, and they agreed. And with that, we proceeded. So what we did with the training materials, we redeveloped all the training materials. We made it interactive, engage the people, because it's very difficult to engage the people in an online environment. Then the videos, we added videos into the presentation. The assessment, we use Zoom polls, use Google Forms, and online quizzes. And one of the other thing I copied from Toastmasters is Kahoot. Hope some of the people who joined the training sessions by Toastmaster, in the training session, one of the training sessions I attended from one of the great trainers, Kahoot. This is an online quiz. This has changed. This has generated a lot of interest among the learners. We call them not students because they're like adult learners. And this was one of the game changers. And the results, no salary deductions. Where majority of the companies reduce the salaries, we paid salaries on time. We gave bonus. We are one of the rare companies, I can say, in the whole world who paid bonuses at the end of the year. And we got 20% more business than the previous year. How I survived, how we survived. I applied, Toastmaster gave me a lot of tools and tackles to manage this change because I was able to apply whatever skills I learned. And dear Toastmasters, as said by Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage the change. Dear Toastmasters, there is opportunity in every obstacle. Come out from your comfort zone and you can change your destiny. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, for that awesome speech. You really explained us how you survived during the COVID and how you came out of your comfort zone during the pandemic by using the impact of Toastmasters tools and social media. Give him a big round of applause. Now let's move on to our last speaker. Before I call upon our last speaker, let us call his evaluator to explain the speech objective. May I call DTM Gururajan sir to explain the speech objectives of DTM Sridhar.
Thank you.
Rajan sir, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. Toastmaster of the evening and fellow Toastmasters, a warm good evening to all of you. The purpose of the project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. The speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Among the prevailing topics, this speech topic seems to be quite catchy. It is Mecca of tennis. It appears the speech will prevail among other speeches in the Toastmasters world. Good luck to the speaker and over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, DTM Gururajan sir. Now, our last speaker for today. He's one of the senior most member of the Toastmastering fraternity in Riyadh and Saudi Arabia. He has been a passionate member of Toastmaster since the past 23 years and was one of the members who played an important role in the formation of the District 79. He has been chartered member, mentor, past president of TAJ Toastmasters Club, and he was instrumental in achieving the president's distinguished status for TAJ Toastmaster Club during his tenure. He was a past area governor of Area 4 and a past division governor of Division A. He has mentored innumerable Toastmasters to win speech contests. He currently working as a project manager, Oracle ERP Fusion implementation in Simsa Express. His passion is to touch lives by sharing knowledge and serving and uplifting people. May I welcome Toastmaster DTM Sridhar. Toastmaster DTM Sridhar, the virtual stage is here.
Am I audible and visible?
Loud and clear, sir.
Yeah. Can I share, Dr. Sundar, can I share the, can I?
Screen share is enabled.
Enabled, huh? Okay. I think I have to be, okay, I'll start. You must be wondering, Mecca of tennis. What can be the Mecca of tennis? Which is the most famous and the oldest tennis tournament in the world? Yeah, that's a place called Wimbledon. Wimbledon tennis tournament started in 1877. And today, almost 140, 130 years have passed. There's a lot of changes from the time it started. Wimbledon is a very picturesque place south of London. And there, when it was started in 1877 July, it was called the Wimbledon Crochet Club. So you can just see how it looks, the symbol of Wimbledon. This is the center court of Wimbledon now, how it looks. And in those days, how it looked like this. The first Wimbledon champion was Spencer Gore, women, and the first man. And the first ladies champion was Maud Watson. To take you through, the first championship for only Wimbledon, they'll call it gentlemen's championships, not men's championship. British people are very particular about some of the things. In 1884, they started the ladies championship. And the first woman who won was Maud Watson. The picture is here. And now the Wimbledon looks like this from outside. And currently, the Wimbledon is this. So now from 1881, 1884, the men's doubles started in England. What is they again call it gentlemen's doubles. Then they found out when as time passed by, in 1913, it was the ladies doubles and the mixed doubles started. So in those days, it was a championships. It was the reigning champion will not play again. The next year, the finalists will meet him in the finals. This happened up to 1922. And those players in those times were Renshaw, who won 8 times, Charlotte Dodd, those ladies. Now, but then after 1922, they decided that this is not a right thing. All the players should play again and come to the championships. So we had 3 top players in those days. Those were Bill Tilden of US. He won the Wimbledon championship twice. And then was Fred Perry. Fred Perry was the first British champion who won the Grand Slam thrice. Not only that, Fred Perry was also a world champion in table tennis in 1929. And we had Don Budge, who won the Wimbledon Grand Slam twice. This was before the Second World War. By the way, between 1915 to 1919, there was no Wimbledon because of the First World War. And Second World War, from 1940 to 1945, the Wimbledon was not cancelled. And later on, things changed. And in the 1950s, we had great players like Lew Hode, Jaroslav Drobny, and our own Ramanathan Krishnan, who made his debut in Wimbledon as a boys singles in 1954. He was the first Asian to win the Wimbledon, any section, Wimbledon, to beat the future Wimbledon champion Ashley Cooper in the boys championships. So, by the way, Ramanathan Krishnan played so nicely, works determined so hard. He was a small guy. And then all the Wimbledon champions were 6-footers, but still yet he was a really gave a run for the money. In 1960, Neil Fraser won the Wimbledon. In that time, Ramanathan Krishnan was seeded 8th. He lost to him in the semifinals. In 1961, Ramanathan Krishnan again came into the semifinals, but lost to Rod Laver in the semifinals. So the 50s and 60s were dominated by Australians. We had Roy Emerson winning the Wimbledon in 1964 and 65, Manuel Santana in 66, and then John Newcombe, who won the championship in 1967. Now, up to 1967, the championships were only allowed for amateurs. That is, all those players cannot become professional. If they become professional, they are not allowed. But 1968 it changed. From 1969, the 68 onwards, the professionals are open, and Rod Laver won again the championships. 68, 69. And 1970, when John Newcombe won. And in 73, there was an issue in Wimbledon where many of the ATP players walked out because of some issue of not allowing Nikolai Pilic of Yugoslavia to play the match. However, that was the golden chance of our Vijay Amritraj to win. He came up to the semifinals for quarterfinals and lost to the eventual champion, Jan Coates. The 70s was known as ABCs of tennis. In 70s were known as Amritraj, Borg, and Connors. Bjorn Borg, the first Swedish champion from Sweden, was really mind-boggling. The tennis changed. In those days, we had tennis rackets. He was such a great player that he won 5 consecutive Wimbledon championships from 1975 to 1980. He was the only person who can teach us emotional intelligence. He was never so unruffled. He was called Ice Borg. All the players, whatever happens, he will remain calm and cool. And what was a great quality about Bjorn Borg was that he is a 5-setter man. He will always lose the first set, but then his opponents will always be afraid. Oh, if he loses the first set, that means that guy will become greater. The 5 sets. Normally, all his matches will go to 5-setter, and he won 5 consecutive Wimbledon. One more unique character of his was that just before Wimbledon, there's a French Open Championship. That's a clay. That's a totally different surface. He's the only person who is to win the clay court in French Open and then win the Wimbledon championships in grass court. 6 times he won, and 5 times he won the Wimbledon. That was his greatness. And finally, he retired very early. The late 80s where we had John McEnroe, who stopped the reign of Bjorn Borg and then Jimmy Connors. And then when 1985 came, we had a great player, most unseeded and player like Boris Becker. Boris Becker brought some more things into innovativeness into this match. He was the youngest player to win the Wimbledon. He was only 17 years and the first unseeded player in Wimbledon. He used to dive. He used to dive and return shots. So he brought some shots while diving. And then Stefan Edberg came. So up to 1990, Stefan Edberg and Boris Becker used to win. In the 90s, we started the era of Pete Sampras. Pete Sampras won Wimbledon from 1993 to year 2000 consecutively, except one year in 1996 when Richard Crackjack won the Wimbledon championships. The great part of Pete Sampras was that he was so dedicated to his coach, Tom Gullickson, that once he was losing a match. He was losing a match, okay, because he came to know that Tim Gullickson had cancer. He was so much broken down. His opponent was Jim Courier. Jim Courier, he couldn't play. He was overcome with emotions. So Jim Courier told him, you play, you play. He just said, immediately the crowd started saying, Pete, win it for Tim, win it for him. The way he came back from 2 sets down and defeated Jim Courier, it was so amazing. And Pete Sampras in the 90s, who stopped him in year 2001, that young lad from Switzerland, Roger Federer, defeated him in the 4th round on a 5-setter in year 2000. And later on, in 2003 onwards, Roger Federer reigned the grass. He defeated till 2007. But now, all these years, the technology also changed. Before 1986, the balls were white in color. After 1986, the balls were red in were yellowish in color. So this happened. Then the rackets, before it was wooden rackets like Maxfly Dunlop, Slazenger, and all. But later on, we had graphite rackets like this Wilson graphite rackets. There was technology change, and even the serve and volley, the match also changed. Finally, now Roger Federer is still playing. We had Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic in between, who are here heavily competing with Roger Federer. So, in between, then Andy Murray, the first British man to win the Wimbledon after Fred Perry in 1936, in 2013 and 2017, he broke that record. This year, Rafael Nadal is not playing. Roger Federer and Djokovic are playing. He's the reigning Wimbledon champion. There's a huge change from 1877 to 1947 to 2020. And last year, the Wimbledon champion didn't happen. But one more great thing happened in 2009, because Wimbledon was always interrupted by rains. So they brought a roof that will stop the rain in between, a movable roof, it's called. So things are changing. And now, if I have to say, it'll take more than half an hour. The Wimbledon history is still the most prestigious tournament in the world. Any tennis player, his dream is to win the Wimbledon. There were great tennis players who never won Wimbledon, like Ivan Lendl. So Wimbledon is a real goal for all tennis players. Our own Leander Pace won the doubles championships in 1999 with Mahesh Bhupati, and the mixed doubles with Lisa Raymond. In 2005, Sania Mirza won the women's doubles with Martina Hingis. So now the tennis is picking up in India. So this is what this of championships. The Wimbledon championships have started today. So hence, and please watch the Wimbledon. It is really, really great. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Sridhar, for that amazing speech. You really take us through all the details of tennis and show us what is the mecca of tennis. By this, we came to the end of first section of our education section, that's prepared speeches. May I check with the timer whether all the speakers are qualified?
I'm not qualified.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening. Except all the Toastmasters are qualified except DTM Sridhar.
Thank you, timer, for that. Now, when was the last time? Okay, just for a note for the vote master, Can you
Yeah, I have
please
shared
share?
the link.
While
The
the
link is already
voting
shared.
Thank you for that. While the voting is going on, let's just go through our theme of the day. When was the last time you did something for the first time? You remember? In my experience, when I was in 15 years old, me and my brother, we have a lake nearby our home, and I know the swimming, but I'm not an expert. But my brother, he's pro, he's the next level. So in the other side of the lake, there was a lot of mango trees with a lot of mangoes on it. One day, me and my brother, we were in the lake. He just go to the other side of the lake and he just called me, Shakir, just come. I said, no, it's okay. Why should I? He again just compelled me to get the other side. Finally, I just tried. At the middle of the lake, I just feel tired and I'm not getting proper breathing. And I just turn back around. It is the same distance if I need to go back. And I decide myself to push forward. Let's do it. Let's get out of the comfort zone. And I made it. By this, we will go to the second section of the education section. That's the table topic. Are you ready all to get out of your comfort zone? Because to conduct this session, we have an energetic, dedicated Toastmaster who joined Toastmasters in 2019, a proud father of 2 children and the only son of his Toastmaster father, a great mentor and a proud learner. VPPR in TAJ Toastmaster Club, counselor in TAJ Gavels Club, assistant director, program quality in Area 6, club coach in PSU Falcon, speechcraft coordinator in TAJ Toastmasters Club, chief editor in Odyssey magazine TAJ Toastmasters Club. So far, he completed 3 pathways. By profession, training manager of Dangin KSA, handling 4,050 plus stores with over 15 years of experience, and hotel MBA in corporate and training, and bachelor in hospitality and hotel administration. Let me welcome none other than Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari. Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir, for that elevating introduction. And may you prevail as the best Toastmaster of the evening, as it was the last Toastmaster of the evening for this program year 2020-2021. My dear fellow Toastmasters, guests, a very warm good evening. It's been some time that we have done table topic sessions, but let me tell you and remind you what exactly it is. It is for you to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That means at 1 minute, every table topic speaker will be shown a green light. 1 minute, 30 seconds, you will be shown a yellow light. And as the timer is showing right now, and at 2 minutes, you will be shown a red light. And you have 30 more seconds to wind up your speech. What is table topics? Table topics is impromptu speaking, and it helps you prevail as the best speaker at confusing times, at times where you are not expecting. And what will it improve? It will improve your thinking, listening, organizing, and speaking skills. 4 skills which you will improve in table topics. Without further ado, let me switch on all your cameras so that I can call you. And for sure, I'm going to call all those people who are not having any activities much. Mostly I'll be targeting on non-speakers. So be ready, get ready, And I'll start off with one very experienced speaker so that you know how to do this topic. So the first topic is very simple. The worst haircut of your life. Worst haircut of your life. Let me call upon Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam.
Excuse me a minute, I will just disable my virtual background. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
It was summer of 2020, the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. Everywhere it was a lockdown, and saloons and barber shops were no exception to that. What I had to do, I had to trim my hairs myself. Imagine you have always been looking in the mirror, and it is always a confusion. When I lift up my left hand, am I doing it on the right side or the left side? Fellow Toastmasters, my dear friends, and my dear Table Topics Master, with this challenge in hand, of course, I had my two hands all right at that time, I started doing my first selfie haircut. And no prizes for guessing, that has been the worst haircut I have ever had. In fact, it was right before the district speech contest. It was so bad that I had to go for a full tonsuring, remove all my hair at the end of the day to have a baldy look for the contest. But looking back at life, is it all about the way you present? Is it your haircut that is going to make a difference? Well, I have been through this a lot of time because I have studied a greater part of my life in a military school, and you can imagine what kind of haircut I would have had for the greater part of my life. And every time I say that I walk to a salon, my wife and daughter are the first to say, do you even have enough hair to go to the salon for a haircut? Well, that story has been the same. But at the end of the day, if you are presentable, it need not be the appearance. Appearance does matter. But as long as it is something that does not hurt somebody's eye, the most important thing is the cut that you make through your words, your actions, and your presence. Great people have had the worst presentations. Winston Churchill, Rabindranath Tagore, George Bernard Shaw, Abraham Lincoln, they all had unpleasant presentation, but they all have left. They have been prevailing in our hearts because of the life that they lived. It might be the worst haircut, it might be the worst dress that you ever have, but if you are able to influence even one single person for their lifetime, then you have prevailed at the end of the day. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar. The next question is very simple. Would you rather be the funniest or the smartest person in the room? Would you be the funniest or rather the smartest person in the room? To answer this question, let me call upon our word master, Toastmaster Suryakant Basava.
Good evening, Toastmaster Manas. So to answer this question, I would like to question you again, depending on the occasion, what is the occasion? So I would rather be funny and smart as well, depending on the occasion.
You can decide on the occasion. You can decide your occasion, your theme. Speak about it for 1 minute. Timer, you may start the time once again. The stage is all yours.
So this is for a minute or just in
1
sentence?
minute to 2 minutes. You can speak about it. You can create an occasion. You can create a theme and start speaking about it. Do you want to repeat the topic?
Yes, yes, please, because yeah.
Just a moment. If the Zoom master can spotlight me, he would be able to see me as well. Just a moment. Yeah. Would you rather be the funniest or the smartest person in the room?
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster Manas Bukhari. This is very smart question, you know. Anyways, to start with, I would like to tell you very real incident in my life. It was around September 9th, 2015, if I remember well. And I had landed in Riyadh airport at 12 a.m. in the morning. And I had told my company admin not to book it the late night flight, but I landed at 12 a.m. in the morning. And before I came to Saudi Arabia, I was given a lot of negativity or lots of things about Saudi Arabia before I landed here. So I actually landed up here, and I was calling my colleague, and his mobile was switched off. And it was a very funny as well as a very serious situation because I didn't know where to go, but I had the hotel address and number. So I called there, and they were speaking me in Arabic, and I was not able to answer them. And there was some person sitting there answering me in Arabic. So I went out, and I went out again to asking the person, will you drop me to this hotel? And he said, Khalas, 80 riyals. Okay, so I thought Khalas means normally in South India, we say we will finish, you know, or you'll murder you. So he said, Khalas, 80 riyal. It was like very funny situation. I went inside scared. I wanted to be smart and act as if I knew everything. But at the same time, it was a very funny situation. So when he said, Khalas, 100 riyal, I thought they'll finish off me if I don't pay 100 riyal. So I went running inside, searching for some space and thinking what to do now. It was 1 a.m. in the night, and it's very hot in August. I landed up in the summer. So again, I tried to act smart, you know, and try to save myself what to do at 1 a.m. in the night. I was tired. So I rang up again, and nobody picked up the phone. So this was very kind of funny and funny situation in my life, Khalas, where this word was used. And luckily I would continue my speech, the story in some other occasion, but I somehow landed up safely at 5 a.m. in the morning. So over to you, Toastmaster Manas.
Khalas, that was smart. And I will definitely remember your Khalas story. When we meet up in person, definitely we can have a chat about it for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
My coworkers are crazy. What's your version? My coworkers are crazy. What's your version? To answer this question, may I call upon Toastmaster Jiso Thomas?
Sorry, this question is not clear to me.
The question is about crazy coworkers. You can tell your experience about crazy coworkers, why you consider your coworkers as crazy. The question is, my coworkers are crazy, your version.
Okay, I got the question. Let me think. As an IT engineer, you know, working in the systems, it's very inevitable to have power in our office. If you don't have the power and the proper power backup is not there, the things will get in big trouble. I remember the days. One day it was a very busy day. Everyone was working in full fledged to complete our works. All of a sudden, the power failure got it, and we were unable to move ahead. And it was a very pressurized moment, but we are unable to do anything because the power went down and there was no power backup properly. Our systems got shut down, and everyone went crazy, and people started throwing rockets and everything to each other, which we used to do during our college days. It was so funny, and it was in another. If I'm saying in another perspective, it was like a relaxation to us. The power came back in after half an hour, but that half an hour was really enjoyable, and it was really we went so crazy like our old college days. It was so funny, and it make us our stress really a relief for us in that particular situation. So really crazy co-workers are really very important to us to make our pressure and our circumstances more smooth, more energetic, more relaxing, more stress-free. Everything will be very good if we have crazy people around us. That's it. Thank you. Moving to the.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jisoo Thomas. I can imagine playing rockets when in the office. It is really great. I wish I had some power cut issues in my college, in my office as well. And my last question, because of certain time delays, I'm just going to put it up as a last question. What was your least favorite food as a child? And do you still hate it? What was your least favorite food as a child? And do you still hate it? To answer this question, let me call someone from the food background. Toastmaster Mohammed Iqbal, the stage is yours.
Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The food which I hate in the childhood, and the question asked to me, are you still hating that food? A food should not be hated by anybody else. Even the parent should teach your child in such a way that food is always precious to you. Some of the food stuff maybe I have never tasted in my life, like bitter gourd, beans, fish, because my father was a patient when I was young. I never tasted all this food stuff. But when I was at 8th standard, my father and mother has to leave me to another military quarters, leaving me behind in my grandparents' house. During this time, I observed my aunt was preparing all those food which I never tasted in my life. And I called my mother saying that, Mom, aunt is preparing those foods which you never cooked before. My mom said, just try it. I never cooked because of your father's health. My father ate only very light food stuff. When I started eating along with my aunt, I started loving bitter gourd. I started loving all those vegetables I never tried. And my wife was again another aunt here. She started cooking all those food my mother never cooked. And she said, the food that horse ate was prepared in my house. And my wife said, this is healthy for your life. Just take it, enjoy. And I never liked, but I have, by compulsion, I need to taste it. My dear fellow Toastmasters, food is always precious. Don't waste like what we are seeing in Saudi Arabia. Almost 40% or 50% of a food stuff is wasted like anything. Just back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mohammed Iqbal. I was wondering about a bitter gourd payasam when you talked about bitter gourd, how it would be. However, since I don't want bitter faces from your side, as we are running late by 6 minutes, and I would not love to get our last meeting of the program here late, I would now hand over the podium. But before I hand over the podium, let me ask the timer that all the speakers are qualified. Timer? Timer, you are muted. Timer?
Yes, sir, all are qualified.
Thank you very much, dear Woodmaster. Kindly do voting for the topic speakers. And with that note, it is me, Manaz Al-Bukhari, your table topic master, signing off. And the podium is yours, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Mohammed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manaz Al-Bukhari, for conducting such an interesting session. You literally grab people and throw them from their comfort zone. Now, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort.
Point of order, sir.
Yes.
So, table topic, there is one disqualification is Toastmaster Surikant. He took 2 minutes 35 seconds.
Thank you, timer.
Sorry
Vote
for
counter, vote master, please note that.
Actually, the voting link has already been circulated, and since he is a new member, I believe we can excuse it. Is that fine? Table topic master?
Yes, please. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, timer, and thank you, vote master. Now, moving forward, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy to go out of your comfort zone, but I am telling you it's going to be worth it. By this, we will move on to our last session in the educational session, that is evaluation. Evaluation is something interesting in our educational session, that you deliver the speech and you got the result immediately. For conducting our evaluation session today, we have a dedicated and hard-working leader and ever-smiling personality. He is a ceramic engineer by profession, working as section head with Saudi Ceramics since 2004, TAJ VP membership, VP Education Elect, a Triple Crown winner. He already completed his 2 pathways, current CSR manager in District 79. Let me welcome Toastmaster Jijo Koshi. Toastmaster Jijo Koshi, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shakir, for this elevated introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, welcome to the general evaluation section. For the knowledge of guests, let me introduce you to the section. It's general evaluation is, you can call it the heart of the meeting. And here we get feedback on how the meeting prevailed, how the speakers did their part to satisfy their speech objectives, how the table topics took place, and how they encountered the questions to the right way or not. So my section would be divided into 3 parts: the prepared speeches, the meeting leaders, and then I will give my feedback about them. So without further ado, one point I would like to add from evaluation. They say like it's like adding salt in the dish. You should not put more or less. So keep it adequate for the food to taste delicious. So I request all the evaluators to keep it as salt only. All right. So going ahead, and we had great speeches. First of all, it's really commendable on our last meeting day. Such a lineup of speakers, truly appreciated. We had variety of speeches, and truly I'm more than overwhelmed being part of this great meeting. So while I introduce the first speech evaluator, I would like to comment on our speech speaker also. who gave a nice presentation on his yoga techniques by his own pictures that really reminded us of our former member, Toastmaster Rajesh Sonawane, who gave a similar session, and he brought those days back to us. So going ahead to our first speech evaluation it was of Toastmaster Dr. Arnachalam. This was done by Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen, who's been Toastmaster for the past 3 years. TAJ, Sergeant at Arms, a great table topic speaker, VP Education elect at Garagina Club, and he's a management graduate, a logistic and supply chain professional, closely associated with 2 NGOs, loves to travel with family, a badminton player, star rather, our star speaker, Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen. Mohammed Mateen, stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi, for that introduction. I'm humbled by that. Coming to the point, today's evaluation of our speaker today, the topic was be healthy. The purpose of the speech was to use the presentation software. If you stay in your comfort zone, your prevailing health will curtail. You made justice to this project with regards to the current pandemic going on. You started with a positive note. Your slides the slides were the requirement, the software. You incorporated the software and the technology, which was the requirement of the speech. Your speech was clear, the slides were legible. The speech was not a report, which was a requirement. It was very, very good and informative speech. Clarity of language was excellent. Vocal variety was okay, but you could have used your voice modulation in a different way when you spoke about things where you were just constantly going it. You could improve on that. Your gestures were great. As far as the audience awareness is concerned, the message was great, but you could have involved the audience by asking them questions as to what they do during the time, during the day, how they plan their day. That is one thing. The project was interesting. Presentation slide design was excellent, and slide design was effective. The topic was great. You spoke about how to start the day, and you said that you start the day with the tea, and it's an antioxidant and anti-carcinogenic, so you can start. And you spoke about with the quote when you started the speech. You said that health is the biggest wealth, and that was a very great start. And eat well, sleep well. You spoke about the sunlight, yoga. When it comes to yoga, probably you could have done some of your gestures when you did the presentation, and as well you could have dressed to the occasion as you were giving a healthline project. You could have done it on a yoga mat, and you could have been there. I mean, this is my personal view. And you said that you started eating apples in 1993. You could have had audience involvement and asked them, I started eating in 1993. Have you been doing it? If not, you could tell them to do it and give them a message. You gave a slide which had both vegetarian and non-vegetarian, with making justice to the audience. Your conclusion was great. Your confidence level was excellent. Best day to start healthy is today. And you said that start with the stages, not immediately. And overall, it was a great speech. I wish you best of luck in the future, and over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mateen. Great evaluation. Next, for the next speech evaluation of DTM Sridhar, I would like to invite yet another veteran speech evaluator, our TAJ past president. He's a senior consulting engineer in Saudi Electricity Company. His one-liner, one wife and one son, is always in all of our speeches. Please help me welcome DTM Gururajan for evaluating speech of DTM Sridhar's Wimbledon match. Back to you. DTM Sridhar, DTM Gururajan, is all yours.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Leaders succeed because they do things differently. That's how I saw the speech from our DTM Sridhar. What I saw is a research topic. We have seen all the informations, but the information can be told like a storytelling? Is it a research topic? We got all the information, but it was so interesting like a story. He made it so interesting. He did it differently. And what about the tremendous enthusiasm he has shown through the whole speech? As if he was owning the Wimbledon tennis tournaments. If the soul was there in all this speech. So we all got attracted and we were totally attentive to his whole speech. He started from the beginning, 1877 July, when the Wimbledon started. He showed the slides, how it looked like and how it looks like now. And then he was even gone to the minute details like men's doubles and women's doubles, when it exactly started. And then he started telling about the players and the years, like when they won the title, right from the so many other players and especially Indian players like Ramanathan Krishnan, Amritaraj, and of course Jan Borg, John McEnroe, Becker, and so many things until Liam Face. It was really interesting story. And first time I learned a lot of details about the tennis. And till the end, it was so interesting. I've never seen any research speech so interesting like this. It was so informative, but a few improvements could be made. First one, in all the speeches, he was giving so much information, like he could have given one information standing here, and then he can move the next one and then give the another information about the Wimbledon matches. In this way, he gets the pause and also he makes the thing more interesting. That's why we have seen most of the TV shows, and this one worked for the TV show. Next one, by doing so, he also moves. Because I couldn't see much body movements because he was so much involved in the speeches. He forgot about the body movements. Next one, he was conducting quiz before, our DTM Sridhar. He could have asked a question in between about who was the player at that time. Then all would have been attentive. Then he could have continued. Like it was very easily possible for him, and it would have added a lot of audience interaction and would have added spice to the speech. And one more thing I would tell, that is the slide was there, it will continue. He could have come out of the slides and he could have continued. Overall, it's a very informative speech with a lot of interest, like storytelling. Only thing we have to improve is the body movements and the pauses, and he can have the audience interaction. With that, the speech will go to the next level. Good luck. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Gururajan, for this production. Going ahead to the evaluation of the third speaker of Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. The evaluator is a certified management accountant from IMA USA, associate member of Institute of Cost and Management Accounts of India, TAJ current secretary, club coach, diplomatic Toastmasters club, Area 6 finance manager, Area 6 director elect, completed 4 pathways mind-blowing. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Nandu Kotarat. Toastmaster Nandu, it is all yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for a generous introduction. Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and my dear friends. As mentioned in the beginning of general evaluation session, I took some salt with me to add into the speech of Toastmaster Sundar Ramalingam. But he provided us a dessert. He added all the ingredients in the dessert properly. If I add some salt, that will be very salty, or the sweetness will lose. As a great champion speaker, he started firstly to attract the audience into his speech by asking the question, how many of you have experienced in glass ceiling? Really, everybody, I can see the face of all audience. They started to looking on you because that was a new thing for them. Then you explained about your path, why you selected the path, the visionary communications, and you explained the path from level 1 to level 5. As an audience, immediately understand all the pathways, how to take each project. I didn't write this visionary communication, but I understand now what are the projects inside this visionary communication. It's a great speech. You added the challenges, what you face in the after level 3, how it is, how you lost your 3 nights sleeping. That everybody has the same issues when they are taking the new project or new path. Always we are facing some problem. We will stuck up with 1 or 2 projects. That is very difficult, and that will be really it is very inspiring, and that is the call for action to the audience. So you have to be very careful and have to select your speech, and you have to identify, you have to discuss with your mentor how you can take the project. That is the very, very best call for action. You given the call for action in between the speech. After that, you concluded with what you learned from this part. Overall, the speech was excellent. You added all the ingredients into the speech for a. But as you are a champion speaker, we are expecting something more from you. If you can add some interesting stories when you are selecting your path, or you are supporting your wife or something, that will give us more spices or more seeds in the dessert. So overall, the speech was excellent. If you can add this, you will be the champion speaker, not only in the District 79, in the international level. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandu, for that great evaluation. Now we have the evaluation of the last prepared speech by Dr. Mahesh, his DTM project. And for evaluating the DTM project, we have yet another champion evaluator, a great person. If I give his introduction, I would like to say he's an MBA in international business, working with Interplast company, assistant manager of accounts. Completed 2 parts, Division B event manager, Grand Professionals Club Coach, VP Education Grand Professionals, and Diplomatic Toastmasters Club Cup Coach. Our TAJ VPPR elect, please help me welcome Toastmaster Roy Jose. Toastmaster Roy, it is all yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the generous introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And a special good evening and congratulations to my speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, for completing the second speech in detail. Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh, you have done an excellent execution of the project which benefited the organization SLC Riyadh. When we analyzing the speech, you started by saying the introduction of your project about the changes you had applied to survive your organization. This gives the audience an idea of the project you carried out successfully. Then you explained about the strains and obstacles you faced during the pandemic period. We are all aware about that. To prevail the situation, you created a team and made a plan of action to overcome that. You quote the Bill Gates words, when I am on with my last $1, I will spend it on public relations. So your team, by inspiring this quote, gave importance to advertisement and marketing and used all the almost latest medias and maximized your company activities to the customers. Also, you used the method of YouTube videos based on the experience from Toastmasters. That was great. You had done technical and technological changes by enhancing the service quality to the customers. Also, given importance to finance part, accreditation to international organization, and many more information you provided clearly to the audience. At last, you ended with the Charles Darwin's quote, and there was a call of action for Toastmasters. Some of the points which prevailed the speech are, you used the perfect and clear presentation of to explain the message, and all of them clearly resembles your speech. Clarity of the speech was exemplary, no confusion about the words or sentences like that. You used the gestures very effectively and purposefully. You capture the audience by highly compelling and well-constructed content about the project and its impact on your organization. However, if you ask me to add something in this last project of your DTM, I would say you can add some vocal variety. Overall, you delivered an exemplary speech about some aspects of the and impact of your project. And if you consider the recommendation of small vocal variety, your speech will get some more flavors. The speech was an impeccable performance of DTM second speech. It was a great example for all other Toastmasters. Congratulations and all the best, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roy, for a great evaluation. This was the prepared speech evaluations. Next, we have the evaluation of the table topic session. We had a great table topic session, and the evaluation will be done by yet another great speaker, great evaluator. He has completed his MBA in Travel and Tourism Management from Pondicherry University, working for Almarai Company as Senior Travel Specialist. He's the MD of Teakwood Travels, our Treasurer-elect of TAJ. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Karnagaran as Table Topics Evaluator.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for your generous introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to first thank you, our table topic master. What a fantastic topic! The topics he brought prevails the same mood, and another important thing is his topics narrowed or funneled all the speakers. They have no other choice. They have to bring their personal stories in the speeches. That was a wonderful thing. Thank you, Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari, for selecting the best topics. I can say that. I don't know how and where you are getting these ideas. Coming to our speakers, today all the 4 speakers has done their excellent job, and I don't know, they got all the inputs, whatever the inputs it required for the 2.5 minute speech. They brought everything in the speech. Our first speaker attempted the topic, the worst haircut of our life. Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. He brought his story from the Army school, Army college, and it has taken us all of us to the location itself, how the army school, how the army cut will be there. And suddenly he brought the message also in the speech. That was the fantastic part about our Toastmaster Dr. Sundar. Always he comes with the message within the 2.5 minutes and bringing suddenly the message. It is wonderful. He cut through our eardrums with his message. What is that? Cut through your words will hurt the people, not cutting style of your hair. So wonderful, sir. Thank you very much for the message. And influencing the people, that is also again another message he has given. I'm not saying any suggestion for him. It was a beautiful, wonderful speech, I can say that. Coming to our second speaker, Toastmaster Suryakant Basava, he attempted the topic, would you rather be funniest or the smartest person in the room? Yes. He is a natural speaker, I can say that. I'm not saying that he's a first-time speaker. The important thing is he kept the smile throughout his speech. That was a wonderful thing. And you are a composed, and you are, as I said, you are a natural speaker. You brought the experience about in the airport. That's also a wonderful element. All of us able to connect that incident. That is the winning part of the speech. Any speech, people has to connect, and you really connected very well. And you just need to know the structure of the meeting, that after 2-3 meetings, I'm sure and I'm guaranteed that you will prevail as one of the best speaker in our club. And congratulations, Toastmaster Suryakant Basava. It was a well attempted speech. And coming to our third speaker, Toastmaster Jiso Thomas, he attempted the topic, my co-workers are crazy. What about your version? Yet another important thing he has given, as a first-time speaker, he took the time. He did not immediately jump into the topic. That is actually required. We should need the time to think about the topic. And he brought this excellent story about his office situation, what they did after the power cut. And we all jumped into the story. We were there in his office. That was so. Creating the mood, bringing the situation, the minds of the people, you really won the minds, won the heart of all the Toastmasters here. And end also, I thought you will be coming up with some negative things, but you really brought the positive element, like benefits of having the crazy people, and you really enjoyed being with the crazy people. Thank you, and wonderful attempt, Jiso Thomas. And you will be the super duper speaker, I can say that. And kindly attempt all the meetings. And coming to our fourth speaker, Toastmaster Muhammad Qasim, he attempted, what was your least favorite food as a child? Do you still hate it? What I liked him is he brought another formula. The formula is, tell the audience what you are going to tell them, and tell them what you have told them. This message, he immediately gave the audience that I'm going to speak this one. I hate some food and still I'm hating. And he brought the story of that food. In between, he brought the message also. And he was explaining that. And the end, he said with the message and call for the action. How within 2.5 minutes, the way he bundled up the speech, I really impressed Toastmaster Muhammad Qasim. And I'm not seeing actually any recommendations for all the 4 speakers, because they are a natural speaker, I can say that. And again, thank you to Toastmaster Amanas Al-Bukhari for bringing these wonderful topics. And thank you, over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karnakaran, for this great evaluation. And now we're going to the pillars of the meeting, the meeting leaders. So without further ado, let me call upon the word master for the day. I would request all the meeting leaders to finish their reports in a minute. So that's how it should be done. Let me call upon the word master, Toastmaster Suryakant Basava.
Yes, Mr. Shiro, good evening.
Yes. Your report.
Yes, so I was, thank you everybody for giving me this opportunity today. And I was trying to carefully listen on all the speeches, and Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Arunachalam used the word prevail today once, and Toastmaster Sridhar used it once, if I remember well. So I would be happy if I missed anybody, but I think that these 2 Toastmasters used it once in there. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Basava. Next, let me call upon the R counter, Toastmaster Mansoor Ali.
Thank you, Toastmasters, to give me this opportunity. Overall, when I was going through the entire speeches, Dr. Arunachalam, he has flawlessly delivered his speech, I found him only twice he used a word so. Whereas Dr. DTM Sridhar, I could not find a single word in it. Dr. Sundar Ramalingam has used and the word and many times. I think it is 3 to 4 times he has used. And Dr. Mahesh Pillai has used we and in this as so the around he has used it around 12 times. So we and in this. So so this is the analysis from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansoor Ali, for your report. And next, let me call upon the grammarian, Toastmaster PK Philip, for your report. Toastmaster Philip, say this audience.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tiju. First of all, let me congratulate all the speakers for their wonderful speech. The energy and enthusiasm that you put in for conveying your points was really astonishing. I would like to say that I did not find any improper grammatical uses in the speeches. But let me list the quotes that were used by the speakers to support their speech. First of all, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam used a quote by Benjamin Franklin: "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam quoted Steve Jobs, whose quote was, "If you are doing something passionate, it can change the world for better." Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai used 2 quotes to support his presentation, which was first one by Bill Gates, that is, if I was down to the last dollar, I'd spend it on public relations, as well as another one by Charles Darwin, which is, "It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change." With regards to TM Sridhar, I was very impressed with his usage of the term "run for their money," which actually means give a stiff competition to the competitor. Even if you lose, but you're losing it after giving them a tough competition. With in regards to his presentation about tennis, it makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you very much for giving the stage back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Philip, for this detailed report. And there I finished with the meeting leaders. And now it's up to the
point of
general
order, the timer's report.
Point of order, sir. You are not asked about the evaluation section for the what are qualified or not.
I will do that. Thank you for the reminder. Let me call our timer for the timing report. Toastmaster Sunil Idukula, it is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for calling for the report. Yes, sir.
You can present your report, please.
Yeah. For the prepared speech session, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam, he took 7 minutes 21 seconds. Second speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar Ramalingam, he took 11 minutes 27 seconds. Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, he took 10 minutes 5 seconds. And the DTM Sridhar, he took 13 minutes 53 seconds. Coming to the table topic session, Toastmaster Sundar, Dr. Sundar, he took 2 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Suryakant, he took 2 minutes 35 seconds. And Toastmaster Jizzo, he took 1 minute 50 seconds. And Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal, he took 1 minute 57 seconds. Coming to the third part, evaluation section, Toastmaster Muhammad Mateen, he took 3 minutes 29 seconds. Toastmaster Nandu, he took 3 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Roy Josh, he took 2 minutes 55 seconds. And DTM Gururajan, he took 3 minutes 29 seconds. And Toastmaster Karnagaran, he took 4 minutes for this for the tabletop session. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. Okay, before we go to the voting, I would request the evaluator, Toastmaster Karnagaran, to be considered as qualified since the timer was missing during the table topic evaluation
Yes,
time.
I'm sorry for that. But my video was stuck on that time.
No worries, no worries. We learn by doing, not a problem. All right.
Normally, we give a 30-second grace period in case the timer card is missing. So, considering that grace period, we will consider him qualified. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. I will now sharing the voting link.
Thank you, Mr. Vote Master. And now let me give the feedback about the meeting. It was a great meeting, and I really enjoyed being the General Evaluator. Great speeches, great evaluation. A few things to be noted is one is looking at the camera. Some people are not looking at the camera. So if you don't look at the camera, there's no connectivity with the audience. We are doing all this for the audience, and I urge all, at least maximum people, to keep the cameras on. And otherwise, it was great. And always the timer could have an alternate arrangement in case it's lost. The TMOD has to make sure there is backup for everyone. In case the timer is lost, we need to be ready with somebody else as a backup. This is our learning for meetings. So I will request the TMOD to ensure in the future to keep a backup in case of anyone is dropped off. Technical issues could turn up. Otherwise, it's a great meeting. We are 2 minutes late. And back to the general. Let me hand over to Toastmaster Mohammed Sheikh.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Jijokoshi. Do everyday things differently. In everyday life, there are ample opportunities to challenge yourself. By this, I will conclude my session with a quote from Albert Einstein. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We shall prevail longer than ever before. By this, I will conclude my session. It comes to the end of today's meeting. I think all the members, participants, and meeting leaders who helped me to conduct this session, handing over the lectern back to the presiding officer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir, and appreciate dear leaders for finishing it exactly on time. And dear Toastmasters and guests, let's give the Toastmaster Day a big round of applause. I request Sword Counter to share the voting link for the big three.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I am now sharing the link for the best of big three. I've also shared the link for the best meeting leader. Kindly please vote for both categories. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. Now, as we discussed in the beginning, today is the last meeting of this program year. And this is my last day as the presiding officer for this meeting. And next week onwards, our new ExCom will take charge and Dr. Sundar will be presiding all the meetings. So as discussed in the agenda, we would like to get the feedback from all our members about your experience with last 1 year. I think I'll start with the ExCom team. We'll ask our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Dr. Sundar, to share his experience. Dr. Sundar, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, President Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, for that wonderful opportunity. A big thanks to all of you, the ExCom members of the current ExCom team, and all the members of TAJ Toastmasters Club who have been the integral part behind the success story that we have been drafting in the last 12 months. The program year, for your information, starts from July 1 till June 30. And from the day one, we had set goals And it was indeed a great learning experience. I should all thank you for that learning experience that you all gave me as the Vice President Education. And I believe I was able to contribute a little bit to all of your improvement and success. And together we have written the success story for TAJ Toastmasters Club. Thanks to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh, for standing like a pillar. Always, anytime I could easily lean upon him, and he was always there. And the XCOM team were like a huge buffer. When you fall down a huge mountain, you are surrounded by something that is optimism, the parachute or like a kind of a balloon. So that was the XCOM team altogether. So VP is a tough job indeed, but I never felt the difficulty because of these great people around me and all those wonderful members who are ready to do anything at any given point of time. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And that's the only thing that I wish to say. And I would request you all to extend this great support for the next 12 months as well for the new XCOM team. I would not like to take much of the time because we have all the other members for the feedback. Back to you, President.
So I would say personally, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Sundar, for all the contributions you have done, for all your support you have provided to the XCOM. And thank you so much. I'm sure that you and your team will take TAJ to the next level. Now I'd like to call our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Jijo Koshi.
Thank you, President. Indeed, it was a great year for TAJ, and personally for me, I accomplished all my targets for the year as membership by achieving all the membership awards. Not only that, but I had cordial relations with all the members through the year. I urge the next VP membership to do the same. That will surely help the club stay with members, and we will have many more members, I'm sure. With Toastmaster Manas as VP membership elect, I'm seeing big growth in our membership count. Let us not only increase the numbers, let us stay and retain all the current members, and let us focus on their quality. I yes, we focus on the quality of the club and speeches. I urge you all to call me anytime, day or night. My phone is open. All right. So it's open for all. What you need, I'm there. Back to you.
He has already taken the unlimited calling package.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Jijo. Thank you for all your effort. We received the 3 awards from TMI, the Smedley, Beat the Clock, and Talk of Toastmasters. This is the second time TAJ is getting this award. Congratulations, and thank you for all your efforts, and all the best for your new role. Now, I'd like to take a call our next XCOM member, Toastmaster Manas Al-Bukhari. Toastmaster Manas.
Thank you, President. I should not be taking much time because I didn't do much this year. However, inshallah, with all your support and full-hearted efforts, I'm sure we will be achieving all the mighty awards which Toastmaster Jijo has secured for, and we will continue the rhythm going in every year ahead of us. TAJ itself is a pride for all of us, and I always tell that, okay, I am a TAJ Toastmaster. It gives a lot of inner happiness when I say, okay, I am from TAJ. Oh, you are from TAJ? That's what other Toastmasters speak. And this is a great sense of belonging, which I am having, and I'm sure everybody would be having the same. Looking forward to meet all of you in person, have more relationships with each other, and build a home within TAJ Toastmasters would be my target and mission in this coming program year and the years to come. We also have a Gavels Club. Thanks for making me the counselor. We want our children to be even smarter than us, and that's our goal, and that should be our motto. And for that, we need all your support and guidance at all times. Looking forward for having a greater connect this program year as well. Thank you very much for all your support as you rendered to me. All the XCOM, thank you very much. Even the YouTube channel live, it was my responsibility. Somebody else started it. All those things, it's a teamwork, as I said, would definitely make TAJ a successful organization in itself. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manas. Thank you for all your support and efforts in making TAJ one of the best clubs. Your flyers were amazing, and many times people ask, like, who made this flyer? Because I think you are the best. You are the best in District 79 in making flyers. And now I'd like to call our Secretary, Toastmaster Nandu.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to serve as a club secretary, as well as to allotted the time to me today to say a few words to you. It was indeed a great pleasure to be a part of TAJ XCOM team, and as a TAJian, as Toastmaster Manas told, we achieved a lot of things this year. So definitely everybody's our eyes on us. So we have a great or high responsibility for the next year. We have to achieve more and more in the coming years. For that, not only the XCOM cannot do anything, but all of your support, all the XCOM presidents, they can fly. So our responsibility as a member, we have to support them. We have to take the responsibility. We have to do our project. This is my last meeting as a club XCOM member. Now, tomorrow onwards, I'll be with you as a TAJian. Thank you all for your motivation and support throughout my tenure of the last year. And thank you very much, President and all the XCOM members and my mentor, Toastmaster Roy Joseph. Over to you, President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nandu, and thank you for all your support as club secretary. You organize the meetings every month, the XCOM meetings, and also taking over the treasurer's role in the absence of Toastmaster Bichu. And thank you for all the support. And you were a great supporter for TAJ, and thank you for all your contributions. And even though you're not in the XCOM, I'm sure Dr. Sundar will be approaching you for your support and all. Thank you. Now, I'd like to call all the TAJians. I think all the XCOM members are completed. Now I'd like to call one by one. I'd like to call DTM Sridhar.
I don't know what to say. I have not done anything, but I really, I was so happy that the things are going on well. Maybe here and there advices I gave, but it was a fantastic year. We should break this record again next year. That's what I say. From starting itself, that's what my wish. Back to the president.
Thank you so much, DTM Sridhar. You have done a lot by advising us, giving us, making us move in the right direction. Thank you for all your advice and support. I'd like to call another DTM, our past president, DTM Gururajan. DTM Gururajan. I think he's unaware.
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah. Now we have our division director-elect, Toastmaster Naresh here. Toastmaster Naresh.
Yeah, thank you, President. Division B Director-elect, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai. Sorry, I was in driving and just joined, so please excuse me for my casual attire. When it comes to TAJ, this club has never failed to astonish me. Because when I have joined TAJ, before that, I heard a lot about the success story and the support and the reviving of the club, most importantly by all the efforts by the current area director, Toastmaster Sunny Guruvilla. So I was thinking, okay, now the club has come back to normal, what they are going to do. Then I have witnessed a lot many things they brought. They have started to do a lot many initiatives. They brought different kind of activities, panel discussion, hybrid meetings, international collaboration. And it was during Toastmaster Sherin's tenure, wow, they have done a great job. What they are going to do, yes. But this year, if you see, I don't know what else to say. Every year, you guys always surprising me with different ideas, your creativity, most importantly, a strong support from all the members. while all the clubs are struggling to find the members and completing the educational goals, you guys are going increasing and achieving the milestones tremendous. So I have only one thing to say: just continue this path. I'm sure it is going to be, especially when the upcoming exam is also very promising. I believe TAJ as a club is going to be a role model for all the clubs in District 79. All the very best. I'm happy to be part of this TAJ club. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Naresh, for that motivating word. Yes, TAJ is in the right hands. I'm sure the next EXCOM will take TAJ to the next level. And each EXCOM gives a challenge to the next EXCOM. And they readily accept. And I'm sure that it's like every year, they will take TAJ to raise the bars of TAJ. Next, I would like to call our Toastmaster Roy. Toastmaster Roy.
Thank you, Mr. President, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, for this opportunity. In fact, all of you said, when we ask about Toastmasters, among Toastmasters fraternity, they all know Toastmasters, one of the pioneer club in District 79. But if we ask a non-Toastmasters about the Toastmasters, they will say only one word, that is TAJ. I'm proud to be a TAJ member, as always, and I would like to express my thanks to my mentor, Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, and thanks for selecting me as a VPPR elect for the next term, for the trust in me. With all my knowledge and experience, I will try my level best. With all your support, we will increase the level of benchmark of TAJ every year. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roy, for all your support, not only in TAJ, in other clubs, and in the division, in this division as well. Now, I'd like to call Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen.